One love to the humble, one love to the humble, one love to the humble, one love to the humble. May grace and peace be multiplied unto you. I hope you're having a good week this week. I hope everything has been going the way you want it to go. I hope everything been going as you planned. And if things are not going the way you want it or the way you plan, I really hope they start going in that direction starting right now. That's what I really hope. I have these hats right here in different varieties. One love to the humble. I'm going to probably start putting these hats up for sale, doing more advertising of these hats. I think they're pretty nice hats. I'm probably going to end up going right into some some humble gear, right? Some humble gear, different type of clothing, not just t-shirts, but actual clothing. You know what I'm saying? Sweatsuits, hoodies, shoes, things like that. You know what I mean? That's what I really that's what I want to really get into. And I hope you will support it if I do it. I'm not 100% yet sure if I am, but that is my goal. That's what I want to do. But anyway, I got another video request right now from the good brother Trey Day. And his question is about black police officers versus white police officers policing the black neighborhood. Basically he asked me what I think about it. And my thoughts are real simple. I know the history that black people have with the police, right? It's not a good history. We have a real rough history with the cops, especially white. Going into the black neighborhoods, beating up black people, extorting black people, just doing a lot of different things to black people. And that has been the norm for a long period of time. So a lot of black people just have a bad taste in their mouth when they hear about the cops. And I'm not going to blame it all on the cops, because some of it is us as well, because we like to do the things we like to do, and it brings the cops around, and we find ourselves in these situations that's always involving the police, and we don't get treated the way we think we should. So therefore, we get all these stereotypes about how black people are with police. But do I think that a black cop would be better? I think there's some ways that a black cop could be better. And I think that one of the ways is they can better relate to the person they're talking to. They can better understand the person that they're talking to. Because, black people, we're very, very emotional people. So by us being so emotional, we do things, we talk with our hands, we use body movements, we use a lot of gestures, we get loud, we do those type of things. It don't mean we about to hit nobody or fight no one. It's just that we get real animated. And when you don't understand that culture and you see that, and you've been watching a lot of movies, or you've been watching, just the way the news portray us, it will make a cop feel nervous, especially a white cop. Now, a black person can see that and they can kind of understand it. Not saying the black cop wouldn't be fearful of his life, or the black cop wouldn't be concerned, but it's a better relationship. I watch a lot of First 48. I watch a lot of Live on Patrol. I used to watch a lot of Cops back in the day, and I just know I don't really pay attention to the cops so much. I really be paying attention to the way the suspect acts, depending upon what type of cop they dealing with. So it could be a white cop, it could be a black cop, it could be even a female. It could be a black male cop, black female cop, white male cop, black female cop. And the interactions are always different. But I'm going to stick to what this video is about. It's about black and white. So like I said, I think black cops would do a little bit better when it comes to relating to the community and relating to the people. When they see somebody like them policing the neighborhoods, they probably would be a little bit more comfortable, and some of the people that they're arresting will probably give a lot less resistance, because of the fact that it's a black person, but that don't mean it's off limits. That don't mean that they got a free pass. They still got to prove themselves and still got to show who they are. But it'd be a lot easier and quicker than if it was a white cop. Because as soon as a white cop go into a black neighborhood, Everybody's talking. Everybody's always already looking at them in a different kind of way. And the white cop is typically not going to give a lot of leeway. I'm not saying all criminals deserve leeway, but some crimes don't don't require going to the next level. It doesn't require escalation of force, so to speak. So I think you can avoid that sometimes with having same if, having people police a neighborhood that look like them. At least in our case, because we see a lot of white cops, but we don't really see a lot of black cops in the community doing the work. And there's reasons for that too, because a lot of us don't join the police force. You know what I'm saying? So if we don't join the police force, then there ain't gonna be enough of us to uh, represent that community. It's supposed to be a certain percentage. I don't know the percentage, but it's supposed to be a certain percentage of how many of the representation is supposed to be the number of percentage of that race of Senate. Excuse me, y'all. I'm getting my words all mixed up because I'm thinking about the fact that I always yarn when I'm on camera for some reason. But I'm saying the percentage of the population of whatever race that is supposed to represent how many people that's on the force of that same race. That ain't necessarily the case a lot of times, but that's what they want it to be. But I just believe that it would be different as far as the relationship level and how they can speak to them. Like if I was a cop, I know how to go in there because I'm from places like that. I grew up in it. So if I was a cop and I was in that black cop policing the area, I would still be cautious. I wouldn't take nobody as a joke, but I would always know that it's all about how I approach and me knowing the culture, me knowing the language, how people talk, and knowing everything about it. I can get probably more cooperation than if it was somebody came in there didn't know the language, didn't know how they speak, don't understand what's going on, then they would. You know what I'm saying? I could get that from them. I can get them to tell me what I need to know in a lot of cases. I could probably get them to, just be more calm, just be more calm in the situation that would normally create an uproar, but just because of the way I might talk to them. But a lot of times, a white cop is not going to do that. They don't really understand that. They don't think like that. So they can get in there and a situation can happen that they don't want to happen, but it happens only because they don't know the language and they don't know how to communicate with the community the right way. Now there are some white cops who can communicate with the community. There are some that can, but that's not that many unless they grew up around or they just truly studied and understand. But this ain't something you can just in most cases that you can just study from afar. You have to be in it to really really deeply have a understanding of what you're looking at, what you're seeing, and what's going on. So to answer the question, I'm going to say that I would think it'd be better if it was black people, black cops patrolling black neighborhoods. That's my personal opinion. But see, the other side of that is this. Now you want to be hooked up. Now, we like to abuse our own people in a lot of cases. So he'll end up losing his job because he'll do something, a favor, and somebody going to go say something. Somebody going to go tell. And then now that person's job is on the line. And they probably going to get fired or looked at as they were showing favoritism doing this over here when they shouldn't have been. Because he can't afford to do that. But that's the kind of position he's going to be put in if he or she decides to take their job in that neighborhood. But overall, yes, I think black people should police their own neighborhoods. I mean, it shouldn't even take the police. I'm going off script now. It shouldn't even take the police. You know what I'm saying? The men of the community should be protecting the community from the other men of the community, not this code of silence. You know what I'm saying? It used to be a thing where the good guys and the bad guys were separated, meaning I wasn't going to support you. I knew who you were. I kept my distance, but you wasn't going to be able to come in the neighborhood and disrupt the neighborhood because all the men are going to get together and make sure that it don't happen. I know that's not the case anymore, but that's how I remember it being. Like you knew who was doing what, but you wasn't allowed to go over there and do it with them because your parents would say, "Nah, don't go mess with so and so because of X, Y, Z." Oh, I know they parent do this, they parent do that. You knew about it. It wasn't like a complete problem that they was doing it, but the problem came in if you were to participate in it. So you couldn't do that. But times have changed. Time will continue to change. But I would say that uh, black police officers would be better off patrolling the black neighborhoods overall, and it probably be less misunderstanding, less people getting unalive, and things like that. The last thing I'm gonna say is, if you out here doing crime, stop it. Stop doing crime. Stop finding yourself in bad situations. Stop supporting crime. You're much better than that. I believe in you. You can reach your goals a lot quicker by doing the right thing and not so much of the wrong thing. And you'll find yourself having a better life. Now, will there be stress in life? There's always going to be stress in life. There's always going to be positions that you're going to find yourself in and make you think that you should go out and do something that you shouldn't do. It's always going to be there. But don't let the stereotype, don't let the hype, and don't let the way things are moving around in society convince you to go and throw your life away. I don't care what it says. Don't let something or someone have you throw your whole life away trying to prove a point of how black you are. Because when that grave in that prison cell don't care nothing about how black you are, and what you did and you thought that meant something. It only means something to people on the streets. The people where you gonna go at don't care nothing about it. They don't care. Okay, so y'all take care of yourselves. Don't do nothing crazy, and I will get with you on the next go round. Y'all take care.